Okay, so what are we looking for today? Today in your PDF submission, I want to see a basement plan. I want to see a first floor plan. I want to see a second floor plan. I want to see a roof plan. I want to see your front, left, rear, and right side elevations. And I want to see the sections through your house. So let's see what else we have here. Um, I want to see a basement plan, a first floor plan, a second floor plan. We already have that up here. All right. Um, so this is for the final exam. This is for the first class project. Okay. So I'm going to switch now to, um, I want to share my screen, but I want to share my Revit, which is right here. All right, so you can see my Revit screen now, everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my house right now as I've got it laid out. I've got some walls and I put some roofs on. We did that in the last class. So let's go down to our project browser and let's take a look at our sheets. So I'm going to make some new sheets. I'm just going to use and I'm going to make a bunch of new sheets now. They're all going to be blank. All right, that might be enough. So I don't have a basement plan, so I'm going to change this one. I'm going to rename it. Change the name here using capital letters. Okay. I want it to be before the first floor plan, so I'm going to change the number of that. Right click and rename it. And I'm going to change the number to 100.00. Okay, so now if you look over here in my browser, I have my basement plan, my first floor plan, my second floor plan. Now I want a roof plan, so I'm going to rename that to roof plan. And let's make that 103. All right, then I want my elevations. I want my front elevation, so I'm going to rename that to my front elevation. And we'll make that 10. Oh, I didn't. 103. What's going on here? Okay, 10. So I'll make that 104. And I think what happened here on my roof plan is I put 00 instead of 00. So I'll go back and rename that again, and I'll change that to 00. There we 10. 102.00, 102, 103. Now my question is, why does that? Okay, because I have these things here. All right. So I'm going to change this to I'm going to rename this. And that'll be my left side elevation. And I'm going to change that to 105. Okay. And then I need a rear elevation. So I'll make this rename rear elevation. And we'll make that 106. So you notice I'm not moving, I'm not grabbing this and dragging it up. I'm putting it in order by the sheet number. So I still need a right side elevation. So I'm going to rename that. And I'll call that right side. And that's going to come after the rear, so that'll be 107. So I'm going to pause here for a second. I need to put, I said I wanted sections today too, so I need to make some sheets that have sections on it. But I'll pause here. Does anybody have any questions about what I've done so far?
No questions yet, Professor.
Okay, so now I want to put some sections in. I don't know how many sections I'm going to have, so before I make my section sheets, I'm going to go back to my first floor plan. And I'm going to select all of these and just delete them. Let's see if I can select all instances in entire project and delete. Okay. So every time I have a jog in my building, I need to have a section in there. So I'm going to come up to section. I'm going to put my first section right here. It only goes through the garage, and you can see that my depth of field is going to be, I'm going to be able to see if I have anything over here or over here, it's going to show it to me because that's the depth of the field. So let's see what this is called. This is section 1. So what if I copy that over? Let's see what happens if I just copy it, because the next one I want is to go through that part of the building. You see that? Because now I have a jog here and I have a jog here. This is a whole different way that the house is going to be constructed. And it's called section 2. Now the next section I need to have, I'm going to also copy that again. And the reason I'm copying it is because look, everything's all lined up. I could draw it, but then I would have to align it. So there's section 3. It's going through this part of the house. The next part I want to have a section is through here. Again, I'm going to copy that from here over to, I'd like to go through the stairs. You see, it's not going through the stairs. So I'm going to use my arrow key on my keyboard and just nudge it through so that it goes through the stairs. Then, again, I'm going to copy it from here through the foyer. I want a section that goes through the foyer. And then I want another section that comes through. I'm going to nudge it back just a little bit. I want it to go through there. So that's giving me all the details about this part of the house because it's different than this one is. And then I'm going to go through the landing on these stairs. So I'll copy this and I'm just going to copy it over to there and nudge it over just a little bit so it goes through the landing. And then I have one more section that I need right there. So I'll copy that. So if you have a square house, if you have just a rectangle or a square, you're not going to have as many sections as I do. But I've gone through and I can see how each part of this house is going to be assembled based upon showing that in a section. And now I need to go in the other direction. So I'll draw another section. I'm going to go from here all the way across to there. And let's see what that section is called. Section 9. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice how Revit's automatically labeling it for me. Now I'm going to copy this guy up to the next part of the house. And that looks good. It's cutting through, I don't want to cut through walls there. It's not cutting through that wall. But if it were up here, like right there, see how it'd be cutting through the wall? I don't want it to do that. So I want to make sure that all my sections don't actually cut right through a wall. I want them to cut through walls perpendicular, but I don't want it to go through the wall horizontally. So what's next? Well, I like to show the stairs, so I'm going to copy this guy up. It's got to show me the stairs. See how it's showing me the stairs now? And then the next one is going to go right through here. So I'll copy that up. And I like to go through the landing. So I'm going through the kitchen, the landing of the stairs, through the elevator shaft, and then through there. Oh, look at that's starting to cut through this wall. So I'm going to drop it down so that it doesn't actually cut right through the wall. I can drop it down a little bit more. So that's good. Now, this would show me, I'm going to put one in there anyway, even though there's no jog, but it's a different part of the house construction. And then I have 2 more to go. Copy this guy from here to here. Whoops, look what I did. Now I have to drag it over and line them up because I didn't move it straight up. Okay, and it's going through the wall. I want to drop it down a little bit. And then I have 1 more to go. And I'll have all my sections in there. Look at that. So I'm going to pause here and ask if anybody has any questions. All right.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Professor. Um, is there going to be an issue for the view windows that you have for each section? Because I see that they're kind of overlapping.
What exact? Oh, you mean this part?
Yeah, the dotted line. Like if you go to the first one on those, it kind of intersects all the other sections. Will that be an issue or no?
It won't. Each
Okay.
one of these is a separate view. So if I didn't want it to go back that far, I could drag it down. But that's a good question. But this is a separate view. It doesn't have anything to do with this view or this one or this one. Each one is individual. So you can change the depth of view on any one that you wanted to. It's not going to alter the other ones, but that's a great question. So how many sections do I have? I've got 8 and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This should be 15. And it is. I have 15 building sections in my house in order to be correctly laid out. So now I'm going to go down to my sheets and I have to make 15 new sheets. New sheet, that's 1. New sheet, that's 2. New sheet, that's 3. New sheet, that's 4. New sheet, that's 5. New sheet, that's 6. New sheet, that's 7. New sheet, that's 8. New sheet, that's 9. New sheet, that's 10. New sheet, that's 11. New sheet, that's 12. New sheet, that's 13. New sheet, that's 14. New sheet, that's 15. Okay, now let's go down here. This is going to be, rename that. That's going to be section 1. Now I'm going to highlight that and copy it. Okay, this is going to be, rename that, and I'm going to paste and then just backspace and say 2. This is rename. This is going to be 3. So I'll highlight that, Control V, backspace space 3. This one, I'm going to rename it, highlight it, Control V, backspace 4. Rename, highlight, Control V, backspace 5. Rename, Control V, backspace 6. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looking good. Rename, Control V, 7. Rename, Control V, 8. Rename, Control V, 9. Rename, Control V, 10. Rename, Control V, 11, rename Control V 12, rename Control V 13, rename Control V 14, whoops, and rename Control V 15. All right, so did you see how easy it was to do that? Does anybody have any questions before I move on to the next part? All of my title blocks are all labeled already because we made that master title block and inserted it into this program. And then we selected our master title block. So I have everything here. It's automatically renumbering that. So it's 0.107, 0.01, all the way to 0.15. Okay. Now, let's go to the basement plan. Nothing there. So then I'm going to go up to my basement plan and drag it over and put it in. Make sure that it fits. It's not going to fit with the way I have my sections. So I'm going to activate the view and change the scale down one more. So 1/8, the next smaller size is going to be 3/32. So let's pick that and then deactivate the view. And then I'm going to drag it over and see if it'll fit. The house will fit, but I'm going to have to go back and fix my section lines so that they are inside of the, maybe I should make it a little bit smaller because I'm going to need to put dimensions there. Okay, so I'm going to activate the view. And instead of being 3/32, I'll make it a 16th. Now, my sections disappeared because I told Revit any drawing below 3/32 don't show the section lines. So I'm going to have to go back and tell it differently. So I'll put that up there for now. I know it's going to fit. It's going to be small. Let's see. Now I got my basement in there. I'm going to have to come back and change that so that we can see when we're looking at a section line, we can actually see it. We can see the section line at activate the view. I'm going to click on the properties here. It says hide scale coarser than 3/32. So when I drop down below 3/32, it's going to hide that. So I'm going to change that to 1/16. Now let's go back to the basement plan. And now I can see one section. I should be able to see all of this. Oh, you know what? I only picked that one section. So I'm going to activate the view. I'm going to say select all instances, and that's going to pick all of the section lines, and then it'll change the scale from 3/32 to 1/16, and I will apply that. And now all of these section lines will still be visible at, oh, well, that's interesting. Oh, I changed the wrong thing. Let's see. Let's escape, activate the view, select this, and it says hide at 3/32. So I'm going to say select all instances, an entire project, and let's see if it'll let me do that. Nope. It's oh, hide at scale right there. There it is. So I'm going to say 1/16. Apply that. Let's go back to the basement plan now. And there's all my sections. So I'm telling it anything smaller than a 1/16 of an inch, don't show your section line. So I'm going to activate the view and show you that if I go down the next size from 1/16 to 3/64, what's going to happen to my section lines? I'm not showing them anymore. So I'll change that back to a 16th. And I'll pause here for a second just to ask, does anybody have any questions about that? What I just did?
It's more how you did or how we're gonna do it for our floor plan. I think that's the question I'm gonna have most likely.
Well, each person, now my house is a pretty big house and my paper is pretty small. So I have to make my scale pretty small in order to fit on the paper with the section lines. Your house might not be this big. And so then you won't have to reduce it to that particular scale. So what else do we have? I'm going to deactivate the view. I want to grab this guy and drag him up. That's my label. And then I'm going to click on the drawing itself, and then I can drag this guy back. Okay. So there's my basement plan. How's the first floor look? Well, I'm going to probably have the same problem with that. So activate the view. Let's change it down to a 16th. It does fit now. I really don't need this anymore, so I can delete it. That was my bubble diagram, but I might want to show it on. All right, so I'm just going to say hide elements. So that just hit all of the things that I selected, and I'll hide these elements too. So now I can't see them. And my view, my crop region is pretty big here. So I'm going to, oh, look how big my crop region is. So I'm going to grab that and drag it over because I don't want to see, remember I laid all of my stacked walls and my kitchen appliances and stuff. I don't want to see all of that. So I'm going to drag this down. And then I'm going to deactivate the view because I have to drag it up a little bit so that everything is inside of my title block. And look at that. It's still not working, right? So I'm going to have to go back and clean all of these up by dragging them up just a little bit. Second floor plan. Let's see what we have there. All right, well, first of all, it's in color. So I'm going to activate the view and I'm going to change the...
Professor, can you show how you change the crop region again?
Yes, of course. In this particular item, we come down here. I'm saying show the crop region. It's not visible, so I'll click on it, and now I can see my crop region. Or I should be able to see it. It's got it. Yeah, there it is, right there. So you click on this button right down here, which is when you hover over it, it'll say hide crop region because it's visible now, or it'll say show crop region. So now I really have to clean up my. I have a lot of work to do on my sections here to make this house fit into this at that scale. And I think I changed the scale though, didn't I? To a 16th of an inch. Yeah. Deactivate the view, drag it over. So does that answer your question about the crop region?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to click on that and just nudge it down with the mouse with the arrows on the keyboard. I don't want to see the crop region when I'm printing, so I'm going to activate the view and then come back down here and say, hide the crop region. And there it goes. It's still there, we just can't see it any longer. Deactivate the view, and my label is a little bit too high right now, so I'll pull it down. So there's my second floor plan. Now I want to do the same thing with the roof plan. Okay, I'll come back up here to my roof plan. Oh, I don't see a roof plan. All right, let's see if we can make one. Floor plan, do I have a roof up here? Nope. So I'm going to cancel out of that. I'm going to go to one of my elevations. And what do I call that level here? what is this level right there? That's going to show me the roof. It's called top of second floor fascia. All right, so I'll use that. I'm going to go to view, over to plan views, floor plan, and I'm going to say top of second floor fascia, top of second floor, first floor, basement. I must have it over here already. Yeah, I do. Because I couldn't see it over here, that means that I've already made it over here. So we're going to go back to that roof plan, which would be this one. I don't have my roof plan in there. I'm going to use the top of second floor fascia. I might rename it later. Paste it in there. Whoa, look at how big that crop region is. So activate the view, down to the show the crop region. There it is. I don't want to see all of these things, so I'm going to take my crop region and bring it in here, real small. Deactivate the view, and then grab this guy and drag him over. Activate the view, and then change the scale. We're looking at a 1/16 of an inch for all of these, right? And then I'm going to deactivate the view again and drag it over there. And I don't want to see the crop region. Activate the view, come down here and say, don't show the crop region. Deactivate the view, grab my label and pull it up to here. Click on that image so that I can hit this little bubble and drag him over. Okay. So now this is my roof plan, but look at it's cutting the roof off. So what I want to do here, activate the view. I'm going to use my view range and change the view range to be 200 feet and 100 feet and apply that. And look what happens. Now it shows me the whole roof plan. And I might not want to see the second floor there, or you could leave it there for now. Eventually, I would only want to see the roof, but I'm not going to ask you to change that right now, okay? So now we've got the roof, and now we're ready to go to our, what's after that? Front elevation. So I'm going to grab that and come up to my front elevation and drag it over, and let's take a look at it and see. Okay, well, that might work if I use my keyboard to nudge it over here. That might actually work at this scale. Activate the view and show the crop region. You can see that it's way too big, and I'm going to crop this guy over here, and I'm going to crop this guy right to there. Notice it's brought my levels over there too. Deactivate the view, click on it, and I'm going to drag it over as far as I can to the right or to the left. And it looks like I'm going to have to go back in and fix all of my levels now so that they're within the border of the title block. And I have to clean it up so that we can read all of that. So I'll come back and do that later. Drag my label over to there. Click on the image so that I can drag the tail over to here. That's my front. I want to go to my left side elevation now and back up here to the left, drag them over. Looking good. I'm going to just see what I can do here. I'm still going to have to deal with my levels a little bit. Drag my label up to there. We don't want that label to be outside of the title block. And okay. Now we'll go to the rear elevation and do the same thing, rear. And don't worry, I'm not going to do all the sections. I'm just going to do one when we get to that. I'm going to activate the view. I can't see my crop region, so I'll click this box that says show crop region. And then I'm going to drag this guy over to here. And I'm going to drag this guy over to here for now. and deactivate the view, and then nudge it over with my, whoops, I'm going to nudge the drawing over with my mouse or my arrows on my keyboard. And all right, activate the view. And let's see if I drag this crop region over to here. Yeah, I'm still going to have to clean that up. All right, deactivate the view, drag the label up, click on this, drag this tail over to there. All right, one more elevation to go. That would be the right side elevation. So you're getting the hang of exactly how this has to go. And there's my right side elevation. And I'm going to activate the view. I want to see my crop region. I'm going to take that guy and drag him over to here. And I've got some stuff in the background, so I'm concerned about that. Let's drag this guy over to here for now. Look at, I got that too. So this is my right side elevation. Let's go to the first floor plan. I can't see my cameras, so I'm going to say VG, and I'm looking for my elevations. Looks like it's going to be an annotation. Elevations are turned on. Okay. So I'm going to take and reset my temporary hide. I still don't see my elevations here. Let's grab this guy and drag him out. All right, it's not, I'm having trouble with that. Where are my elevation symbols? There we go. There's one. Let's see where this guy is over here. There he is. All right, so I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click on this guy right here, and let's see how far that depth of field is for that. I'm trying to grab this little bubble and drag it over. And drag it over. Okay, so when I'm selecting this guy right here, what happens? I want to change my depth of field so that I can't see annotation crop. Let's click on that and see what happens there. Nope, that wasn't it. Sun path isn't it. I want to change my depth of field so that I don't see all of these things in the background. Right now I can see all of those. And I don't want to see them. You know, just like with our sections, we've got a depth of field here that we want to get rid of. Click on that. Click on, that's my bar clipping. Okay. Clip with line. Okay. Now I should be, here's my line. I don't want to see any farther than right there. I don't want to see this stuff in the background. Let's see what happened. That's my rear elevation. Yeah, notice I can't see all those things in the, no, my right side elevation. Notice I can't see all of the things that were there before. Back to the first floor plan. If I bring my, if I extend out to there, let's see what happens. Yeah, see how I can see all the things that I put in the drawing? I don't want to see those. So I'll go back to my first floor plan and I'll just change the depth of view so we can't see beyond anything on this side of this dashed line will not be made visible. And what I did for that, when I clicked on this little triangle, I have the ability to far clipping. So I say clip with line, and I'm going to say clip with line right there. Or I could say no clip or clip without the line, but I want to see the line, okay? So we click this button here, and that allows me to show my depth of field. All right, so anybody have any questions? I'm going to do Just do one section, but you'll have to do all of the sections. Any questions about that? Oh,
And so if I understand correctly, Professor, just like how we did for the floor plan to get the section, is it just going to show each individual section on the sheet itself?
which on the floor plan sheet or on the section sheet?
Yeah, on the section sheet.
Yep. So we're going to drag one section at a time. So I'll go to section 1. I'm going to come over here and say, I'm looking for my sections. It's minimized, so I have to hit this little plus. I'm going to take section 1 and drag it over.
Okay, I forgot about that because in my head I was thinking, I was like, if he drags the actual section, it's going to change. I forgot that Revit makes the sheet for it.
I'm going to activate the view because I want to make it bigger because I want it to. This is a major no-no in this class and in the profession as well. You don't want to have all of this white space around in a little postage stamp drawing. So I know I can make it bigger than it is right now. It's a 1/16 of an inch. Let's change it to 3/32 and see what happens. I think I can make it even bigger than that. So let's change it to 1/8. And I'll deactivate the view just to see how that fits on the sheet. Maybe I can make it a little bit bigger, maybe not, probably not. But I'm going to drag that down. And so I'm going to activate the view just to make sure that I can't make it any bigger. So 3/16, definitely too big. Back down to 1/8. And you can see my crop region. I don't want to see that. So I'm going to say, hide the crop region. I'll deactivate the view. I'm going to click on that just so I can drag it over so my bubbles fit. And then I'm going to grab my label and pull it up to there. And there we have it. Now I have to come back in individual, each view. I'm going to have to go back in and fix that. And look at what we have here. This is another no-no in this class. When you see stuff like that, activate the view and change your resolution to fine. All of your drawings must be presented to me in fine resolution. So we always want to see that, all of the details in the wall. I do not want to see stuff like this. Look at that. See, it's just showing me the outline of the wall. I want to see the details. So I hope everybody understands that because I end up marking that up on a lot of the drawings. Now, I want to do one more thing and then I'll let you go do your work. But I do want all of I do want all of these submitted to me, printed as one sheet today. Look at this. I have a basement, first floor, second, and a roof, front, left, rear, and right, and all of the necessary sections. Now, if you look at my section here, it's not finished, but I have it laid out on the sheet. And as I go in and add the roof over the garage, because that's what this is a section through, it'll automatically add that information to this sheet. To this section. So I don't have to worry about the fact that it's not finished yet. I can go back in and fix it later. And so I don't want you to say, well, I can't show you my sections yet because they're not done, Professor Bryce. I don't expect them to be done. I just want to see your progress right now. So at the end of the class, I would like you to print this up, all of the sheets as one file and upload it to Blackboard. So I have one more thing I want to show you before I set you free, and I'll do individual help today. But I'll pause right here and say, does anyone have a question?
Not a question, but more of an issue from last class. When I try to have Revit to put all the sheets as one PDF, it was just freezing. Like it just never created a PDF.
Are you using Adobe?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll try something else. Adobe takes forever. If you use, do you have the Microsoft option?
Let me look at it right now. I'll tell you. Uh, I do have the Microsoft option. Yes.
And if that doesn't work, you can download Qt, C-U-T-E PDF. It's free. And you can use that. That's what I use as my printer. So if Microsoft gives you a hard time, then download Qt PDF.
Okay, I'm just gonna do like a practice run just to see if we could do the like the basic sheets without the sections to see if it works.
That's fine. All right. Does anyone else have a question?
Yeah, Prof, did you update the attendance and
No,
submit
I haven't made the folder for attendance or for the PDF today,
Okay.
but I will in just a little bit. Thank you for reminding me. I want to make one more sheet, new sheet, and say, okay, because that's my default. All right. I am going to change the name here to site location sheet list. And I'm going to change the number. I could change it by renaming it, but I'm also going to change it right here. And I'm going to change it to 000.00. And what happens? It goes all the way up to the top because I want one more of this. And this is, we're going to have to make a list of the sheets now. So I'm going to save my work. And this is the last thing I'll demonstrate today. I did spend a lot of time demonstrating. However, a lot of that was redundant, and so it wasn't like I've shown you a million different things to do today. So let's make a sheet list and put a list on like a table of contents. Would be kind of cool to have a list right here of all of the sheets and what the name of the sheets are. And to do that, we come over to schedule, right click on that and say new sheet list. And it's going to pull that up. And these are all of the pieces of information that you can put on your sheet list. And anything you want on that list, simply click on it and hit this little arrow and it'll add it. These are all of the options. Right now, I have a sheet list with nothing on it. I want to have the sheet name and I want to have the sheet number. That's all I need, okay? And I think the number should be before the name. So I've highlighted sheet number. I'll come down here, there's a little arrow, and I'm going to put it up. And now when I say, okay, there is my schedule. I don't have to draw it, make it myself. It's all there, okay? It has all of the different sheet names, and it has all of the different sheet numbers. I need to modify that with a space, maybe. Nope, that didn't do it. I'm curious as to why A00 is not there. So let's take a look at sorting and grouping. And we're going to say sort by sheet number. And we'll say, okay, let's see what happens now. There we go. So I did that pretty fast, but I was looking at how these sheet numbers were listed, and I saw that this is a lower number than that, but it was way down here. So I want to sort by, so I go over to sorting grouping, and I simply hit the edit button, and I say I want to sort by the sheet number and make it ascending, so it's going to have the lowest number first and the highest number last. If I had said sheet name, watch what happens. It's alphabetized now. B, F, L, and then OP, R, S. Okay, so that's all alphabetized now. And it doesn't matter what the numbers are. They're not going to be in order because I told it to sort my sheet list by the name, the first letter of the name. So back to sorting and grouping, hit the edit button. I don't want to sort by name. I want to sort by sheet number. And I'll just say, okay, and now it's all alphabetized there. Okay, last thing we're going to do before I set you free today, I'm going to go back to that sheet, which I said site location. I've named it site location. Whoops, I spelled it wrong. L-O-C-A-T-I-O-N. That's better. And now I want to put that sheet list on my first page. This is the cover sheet of my drawings. So when I print this out on paper, the first page of this drawing set will have the sheet list on it. So I simply come over to my schedules. You can see that it's minimized, so I'm going to maximize it. I only have one made. I'm going to click on that and just drag it over here. And there's my sheet list. Okay, so I think that's a little bit too much. I can pull that back and I can drag that over. And now, as I make more sheets, as I give them more names, Revit will add that to my sheet list automatically. So I don't have to continually update that. So that's what I'm looking for today is the sheet list in numerical order placed on your first sheet. We're eventually going to put a little map here too. So you're going to be giving me a lot of work over spring break, and I'm happy to do that for you. I definitely need you to submit this work today with all this. So look at all the sheets that I have. All of the sheets, and it was pretty easy to make, and it's pretty easy to put all of those things on the make all those sheets and then put all that information on those sheets. And now the last thing I just want to show real quickly is if we go to the basement plan, notice what else it said. It's telling me what sheet this section is located on. If I go to A107.01, I'm going to see section 1. If I go back to the basement plan or any floor plan that has the sections on it, I'll go to the first floor. Notice that none of these other bubbles have any information in them, and that's because I haven't placed these sections on a sheet. So if I real quickly, let's go to section 2 real quickly and just grab section 2, and I'm not going to clean it up or anything, I'll just put it there. Okay, there's section 2. Now we go back to the first floor plan and look at it. It's telling me, if you want to see this section, go to sheet 107.02. Okay, so now I'm going to save my work, and I'm going to hand the baton back to you guys to let everyone in the class start working on their projects in order to submit to me the things that you have created, all of your sections, all of your elevations, and all of your floor plans, including the roof plan. And remember, you know your house. I don't. So I need to see all of this information in order to understand what's going on in your house. So I'll pause here, see if anyone has any questions or comments or thoughts or ideas. And then I'll let you guys work, and anybody that needs help can ask to share their screen.
Can I share my screen real quick? There's something I'm not figuring out.
Yep. Let me see if I need to do anything, or, well, I need to stop sharing, right? Okay. And let's see if we can see yours now.
Okay, just give me a second. Okay.
All right.
So I can change the view for this, but I can't change it for these, or at least I don't see how.
The same triangle. Click on the same triangle.
I did.
Okay. Now go over to your properties. Scroll down in your properties box on the left.
Oh, okay.
That's the project browser. The other one's properties. Just scroll down. Yep, keep scrolling. Far clipping. Right now you're saying no clip. So click on that. Click with line. Say okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now you have your line in there.
Okay, that was it.
Nice work. All right. Anybody else?
Not at the moment, Professor.
All right. Well, I'm going to be here. Alpha, I'm going to help you with your stacked wall, but I'd like you to do what I demonstrated today first, and then I'll come back and help you with your stacked wall, if that's okay with you.
Yes, yes, Professor. Thank you.
Okay. Because you definitely want, everybody has to present today. Not to the class, but you have to submit. You have to submit your work today. Everyone does. So while you are doing your work, I'm going to continue to put my roof on. I am recording it, so you can come back and watch this later. You don't have to watch me do it right now, but I'm just going to continue with my roof, and I might have a little bit of a dialogue there, but you can listen to this in the background or pay attention to it. But the most desirable thing today is to make sure that you get all of your sheets together. All the plans, all the elevations, all the sections, and that you submit that today. And then if you need to come back and watch me finish up the roof on my plan, it's recording, so you'll be able to come back and do that. You don't have to actually pay attention to it right now, but you can keep it in the background.
Professor, I have a question. Do we have to have 15 sections?
No. Share your screen and we'll go through and put your sections in right now. Is that okay?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, sure, but
Okay.
yeah, can you see it?
Let's count your sections. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, so the first section that you have there on the right-hand side, let's click on that.
This one?
Nope, the vertical section on the right.
Oh, this one.
You want to nudge that over just so that it goes through your landing. So use your arrows on your keyboard and just nudge it to the right until that section goes through the landing. Okay.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Now, let's look at the second section. That looks good. The third one, yeah, that's fine. Fourth one is good. Fifth one is good. Okay, so now we'll go in the other direction, the bottom. All right. We want to really, you have a lot of stairs there. So we might want to add another section
Uh,
through those stairs. You have two sets of stairs, but your section's only going through one set.
yeah, this one is going this one, and this one is, I think it's touching a little bit. Yeah, I
Let's
was
nudge
trying-
that down so we can
Yeah,
keep going down so it goes through that other set of stairs.
this one?
Yeah. And
Okay,
then we'll be able to see the other set in the background. So we'll be able to show both. We could do that. All right. So we go through both stairs. All right. That's good. And then the
and
next,
I think this one is here. I think I have enough, yeah.
yep, you're great. Your sections you have.
Yeah, I was trying to get 15, but then I realized there are too many. Yeah,
Every floor plan is going to have a unique
yeah,
requirement for sections. Now, if you look on the left-hand side of those bubbles, you might be able to move them so that they're not on top of each other.
these ones?
Yeah, if you move that section up just a little bit, but so it still goes through the stair, and then you move the other one down a little bit. So
Mhm.
we're looking at that. Click on that and nudge it up so it still goes through the stairs, but a little bit higher. Okay, and then pick the one below it and nudge it down a little bit.
Hold on, I want to, okay, I want to start with this one.
That one still wants to go. Yeah, that's probably about the best you're gonna get. So
Yeah,
that's okay.
all right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. All right, so I'm gonna just keep working away while you're working away too. I'm gonna go to my roof plan, which I call it the top of the second floor fascia. So the first thing I'm gonna do is rename it to roof plan. And it's asking me, do I want to change all of the levels? Well, I don't need to change the name on the level, but I did want to change the name of the drawing. So I'll say, okay, I hit yes, so it's going to change all of it. All right. So look at all these tabs that I have open. First thing to do is close all of the tabs. So now I only have one open because I want to open up the 3D view. I want to see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And I'm going to type VG. Nope. I'm going to type WT so that I can see my 3D view as I'm working on the roof. But I might want to have, let's see, how's my roof looking here? Okay, so I can see that I have the roof on the second floor seems to cover everything that I want it to cover. I have a gap here where I have to put a wall in there. And I've decided that I don't want to carry brick all the way across. I'm going to make that a siding, a wall with siding. And I've decided that I'll put a peak on top of it so that it starts to make a little bit of sense. And so I did that. And you'll notice that what I did on my roof was I just extended it out a little bit right there so that I could have a gable on that. All right, so now I'm going to go back to the first floor plan. And now maybe I should stay in the roof plan. And I'm going to look at my underlay. I want to see the first floor underlay, not the second floor. Second floor looks like the roof is fine. So I'm going to say, show me the first floor as an underlay. And now I can see where I need to put my roof on the first floor. That might help me a little bit by changing it to realistic so I can see the roof that I already have. All right, so I'll start with the garage roof. Architecture, roof. And, I spelled plywood wrong, but I can change that later. But that's the kind of roof that I want. All right, and I'm gonna put it at the garage. And remember, I'm gonna draw lines and I want it to be 1 foot off of the outside face of the garage. So I'm gonna draw the line in from here and hit space. And I'll draw to here, and then I'm going to draw to here and to here. And I really want to go back to the wall. So I'll go to there. And I didn't do that over here. So I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna make sure that this goes all the way back to the wall, which is there. I need to draw another line, but it's not going to have an overhang, and it doesn't. See, there's 0. It's not going to have an offset. And I want it to go from here all the way along that second floor wall till it gets to here and then back to there. Okay? Now, what parts of this roof do I want to have a pitch? Well, I definitely don't want this to have a slope, so I'm going to say no to that. And I don't want this to have a slope, so I'll say no to that. Okay. And I haven't paid any attention to the elevation. So I'm going to probably have to move that roof down after it gets built. So this slopes, this slopes, this slopes, and that slopes. This doesn't, and that doesn't. So I'll just say, okay. And all right, so that's what I did. There's my roof. It's too high. I can go back now and I can go to a section and move it down. But let's see. All right, so let's go back to the first floor plan. And this section will show me the roof, so I'll go there. And do I have a bottom of the first floor fascia and then the second floor? See what a mess this is. And now I have to go clean it all up in order to be able to read these things. So I'll do that. I'm going to click on this. I know that somewhere there's a Sevilla over there, but I can't see it. So instead, I'm going to unlock it for now and just drag it out, get it out of the way. And there's the top of the first floor fascia, and I can see that little guy, and I can drag him up for now. Okay, so I really want it, I think I want the roof to be 8 inches above the top of the first floor fascia. So if I click on this roof, my base level is going to be, let's put it to the top of the first floor fascia and see what happens. Okay, so that's where I want it to be. Okay, so now I've got this roof in. I can spin it around and take a look at it. I do have a water problem, and that water problem is right here. This water is going to slope down and hit this pump. So I need to put another, what we call a saddle in there, but I'll come back and do that later. All right, so that looks good. I'm going to put a saddle in here, which is just another roof that'll throw the water to the front and the back of the house. I don't remember what these are. So I'm going to grab all of them because they might be important. It might be something that I want. And I'm just going to move them over here. So I dragged them. I thought I did move. I did, but it kept it. I don't want them. I don't want them over there. All right, so we'll go back to the second floor plan. Maybe I can see it in the first. Nope, got to go to the second. I can. Now it looks like those walls stop right there, but that's because of my crop region. So if I drag this crop region farther out, then I'll be able to see where I really want those walls to be. And wow. All right. So I don't know if those are important walls or not. That's something that I want to add to my collection here, but I'm just going to drag this guy over and drag this guy over and this one and this one. Then I'm going to just use my arrow keys, and then I'm going to take these and just drag them down so that they're not on top of anything else. Unjoin. And now I'm going to grab the walls on this side and drag them over because there's something important about these walls. I don't know what it is. I might have been making some different types of walls. That guy got crooked. See if I can straighten him out. Okay. Now I can just drag him. can't see that bubble. So I'm going to say, I'm going to select the section and then come down here and say hide category. So my section lines will be gone, and then I can grab the little bubbles here, the little endpoints, and drag them over. These might be some special kind of walls that I made. So now when I look at my section through there, I can see what those walls are, but I can't see them right now because I have to reset. I don't have a section view there. Okay, because remember I deleted all of my sections. So I'm going to grab this guy and put another section right through those walls, maybe nudge it over just a little bit, go to the view, make sure that it's fine resolution, and I don't want to see the house in the background, so back to, I can go to the first floor plan, it'll be there. Grab that section and change my depth of view because I don't want to see the house in the background. Now we go back to that section and I can see, I don't know which walls it was that I just made, but they're there. So maybe it's these. Let's see. Back to the second floor plan. Yeah, it looks like it is one of those. So I'm going to clean this up just a little bit to line all of my edges of my walls up here so that they're all the same length. That's just a nitpicking thing. You don't have to do that. But I might be using these walls on another project. I'm definitely going to keep the changes that I made as a part of my template. Okay, so they're all there. Let's see. If I go back to this section now, they're highlighted. Yeah, those are the walls that I just moved. Okay. I'm not sure why I did that. I don't remember why, but okay. So now let's go back to my roof plan and let's say close the unused tabs. So I only have 2 tabs open. I don't need this guy to be so big here. ZE for zoom extents. And then I can use, yeah, so that's how my house is starting to look. Now I want to put a roof over here, and that would be back here. So the top of the fascia, top of first floor fascia is my level. Remember, I changed the name of it up here to roof plan, but I said, well, I did say change it all. And that was for the second floor. Okay. So that level, if we go and take a look at that level, we'll see that that level is no longer called top of second floor fascia. Now it's called roof plan. Should I do that? Yeah, I guess I should do that right now just to show you what I'm talking about. So, yeah, so now you can see, as difficult as it is to see, you can see that that level is no longer called top of fascia, second floor fascia. It's called roof plan. See, it's hard to see it, but it's there. It's called roof plan. So let's see if I undo this and drag this guy over. There it is. See, it used to be called top of fascia, second floor fascia. But when I changed the name over here, Revit asked me if I wanted to change it, the name of it everywhere. And I really didn't want to. I wanted to leave this as the top of the second floor fascia, but that's okay. It's called the roof plan now, okay? And when I click it here, you can actually see it in 3D. That's the plane representing that level. All right, back to the roof plan. So now I want to put a roof over here. Same thing, architecture, roof, draw a line. I want a 1 foot overhang. And I'm going to trace around. Starts at the face of that wall. It's on the wrong side, so I hit the space bar. And snap to the endpoints. Just like in AutoCAD, you see the arrow, the box, which tells me I'm snapping to an endpoint. Here's that wall right there. And I want to go to this wall right here. And then I want to go back to this wall right here and then close it. Okay. So, oh no, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to delete this one, and I'm going to delete this one because I wanted it to go up against the wall, and it didn't because I had that 1 foot overhang. Okay, I'm going to draw a line and want it to be 0 now for the offset because I want it to be right up against the wall. So I'm going to start here to there, to there, and I guess I can go straight across and then use my trim extend or fillet for cleaning that up. All right, so what do I want to have? I want that to have a slope, this one, this one, this one, this one, but not this one because it's right up against the house. So I'm going to select that line and say, nope, it does not define a slope. I'm going to select this line and say, nope, it does not define a slope. And this one too. I don't want it to slope away. And I'm going to say, okay. And then I've highlighted that roof. My plane, I'm going to change the plane of that to the top of first floor fascia. Okay, and look at that. There's my roof now. I have that roof. Now see, again, I've got this problem here. This roof slopes down, and then I'm going to have to put something in here in order to make the water flow back here. So I have to add another piece of the roof there. But for now, we don't have to worry about that. One thing at a time.
Professor?
Yes.
I'm starting to put in some of the elevations for my sheet. Can you show me or can you tell me how to crop images once I add them on? Because my north elevation is, or top elevation is too large for the sheet.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing and let you share yours.
Okay. And so this is my front elevation.
Okay.
And I dragged it over, but I'm trying to at least get it to fit onto the to the page. I know I can change the size, but it's the lines that are giving me issues.
All right. Well,
I
I
can
need
change.
to activate the view first of all. Let's deactivate the view,
Okay.
and let's click on the house, and then use your arrow keys to just nudge it to the left. Yeah, and you want to nudge it up too. Yeah, that's pretty close to it. Yeah, okay, you're right. We want to change the scale. So let's activate it and we'll change the scale. Just drop it down 1 scale.
Okay.
Okay. And then that's good. Deactivate it.
Oh, I got to click on it to move it. And so the issue that I'm having is all the lines, as you see, that marks the elevation. It's showing up. So I want to kind of lower the crop, or the image that it's cropping from the elevation itself.
Well, I think you have more room on the left-hand side. If you move the house to the left, you'll have all your bubbles in there on the right, and you're
Right.
not cropping any of the house. Okay, so that looks good. Now we can activate the view.
So activate the view.
And down
Okay.
at the bottom, you have to the left. Let's hover over each one and see what it says. It's going to say show crop region, which I think is the next one.
Okay.
There's your crop region. Now click on it and you can make it smaller.
Oh, not need to do that.
Grab that little bubble and just drag it over. Nice.
And I think this is should be about it.
I would drag the one on the right.
Um,
I'd drag that to inside of your title block now. See the little bubble on, that's the top. You could drag that down. And then,
Okay.
right, drag that over just a tad. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. And we just don't want to see that anymore. So we'll click that little icon again. And now we can't see it. Deactivate your view, move your label, and then drag the end of it so that it's inside of your title block.
Oh,
You want to, let's move the label to where you want it to be first. So just click on it, move it to the right so that it's inside the box. Okay, then click on the house. And that'll activate that little bubble on the side there, and you can drag the end of the label.
oh, okay.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. And one issue that I had with this, I know that the elevation marks are like this, but on my east elevation, that was also another issue. Like, so it's a mess now, but if I go to the west, the opposite side, then it looks completely different. But I know if I change anything, like if I was to change anything here, it would change it on the west also because I'm assuming that they're connected.
If you move a level up or down, the change will occur everywhere because you're making the level a different height. But if you move those bubbles to the right or to the left, it's only going to change the display of those bubbles on this drawing. It won't change the other ones.
Okay, so
You have to
if
go
I
in
change
and
the bubble,
change them individually for each view.
okay. But if I change like this endpoint here, it would change it for the east. If I was to shorten it here.
Maybe. But you can use the crop. You don't have to do that. You can just crop it out. So let's go to your elevation for the west side.
Well, I haven't put in the west side yet. I'm starting on here for the north, and then
Activate the view right there. Show your crop region. Oh, look at that. How do you like that? Okay, it's that I thought it was going to crop your levels too.
right.
I think that's okay. It's not going to print. I don't think it's going to print outside of the border. So we're not going to see that. But you might need to drag it in there if you want to keep those ends inside, you might need to drag them. Let's click on one and see what happens. We might be able to drag them all at the same time if they're locked. I don't know. Let's try it. Yeah, they are. So you see that little bubble on the left-hand side? Just drag it. That's the right-hand side, right?
Yep.
See that bubble right there? No, not that one. The other one where the lock is. Just drag
right
that.
here.
Yep. There you go. All right. So now you have to, you might, I'm not sure. I think you might have to do that on all of them, or it might actually have moved them all. I don't know. Can we check that?
Yes. Let me just deactivate the view here. And then if I go to south, see over here, so all of these are now leveled because this would be the other endpoint. Because if I go to north, which I do have open up here, everything's leveled on this side. And so on the south, everything is leveled over here.
All right, let's go back to the north side.
So I think,
Let's go to the architecture tab. All the way to the right, it says reference plan. Let's draw
Yeah.
a reference plan. I'm starting on the left side of your levels. See where you move those left side of the left, yeah, right there. And just click there
Okay.
and then draw it straight down. Okay, that's good. Now we'll see that reference plane in all of your drawings. So let's go back to your south side and
Okay.
see where that reference plane is.
save. Right here.
Yep. So that's not it. What you said is not true. It didn't move those bubbles on the right hand side, did it?
No, no. Okay, so then I could just move the bubbles on the right hand side then.
And the left, however you want to present it. You just want to make sure that all the information is inside of the title block.
Right. Okay.
Looking good.
Let me do that right now. All right, then thank you, Professor. If I have any more questions, I'll just ask.
I'll be here. Does anyone else want to share their screen right now? Anybody having trouble?
Not right now. Probably in 5 minutes.
I'm going to be here in 5 minutes. So I'll take it back, and I just want to finish up my roof. I only have 2 more places where I need to put the roof in. One is here, so let's do that. Architecture, roof. It's the shingles plywood, which I spelled wrong. I'll have to rename that. And I'm going to draw a line with a 1 foot overhang or offset. And I'm going to come from right there. And it's on the correct side because of the direction that I'm drawing. And I want to come down to the wall, which is, I don't know where that wall is. I'm thinking it might be right here, but I don't know. So I might have to move that. And I want to go all the way over to this wall, straight across. And I'm going to come up, and I don't want an offset now here. I'll bring this guy straight down. I just get sloppy here. And it looks to me like if I change this to wireframe, I can see the wall below. And it looks to me like that wall below might be right there. I'm going to guess at it. You know, we know how easy it is to change these things. And then I just need to clean this guy up. So I'll clean him up. And then let's say where we don't want this guy to have a slope, and we don't want this guy to have a slope. And everything else, we'll let it slope. And we'll say, okay. And then we'll change the level to the top of first floor fascia. Now I have that wall in there, or that roof in there. And that's where I have a problem too, okay? So I can see right here, I've got this big gap. So if I want this roof, maybe I want it to be below this roof, what could I do? I could take this roof and change the pitch of this guy right here. So I'm going to say edit the footprint, and instead of this being a 912, let's see what happens if I change that one just to 612. And we'll say okay. And now it doesn't look like I've got, I might have, yep, I might have to make it even a lesser pitch. So again, we'll click on this guy, we'll edit the footprint, and we'll pick this one instead of 612. Let's make it a 512 and just see what happens. All right. Now it looks good. So let's take a section through there where they're meeting, which I believe this section will show us, just to see what's going on with that pitch. define resolution. So there's where my roof is actually ending up. It's going to hit this fascia board. If I change the pitch just a little bit more, it'll fall and it'll hit this wall right here. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. Edit the footprint, back to the roof plan. I'm going to change this guy. 412 is the minimum that we really need a roof pitch to be. We don't want it to be any less than that. Go back and look at that section now. Look where the roof hits. Now that roof hits at this wall. It hits the wall right here. So that's fine. Okay. So now I don't have that problem of that of this guy being higher than this guy. The connection would be difficult. And this is kind of like the side of the house. So no one's really probably ever going to notice that the slope of this is less than the slope of the other ones. Generally, the slope is defined when you're looking at it by the face here, not by just looking at the slope. It'd be hard to tell what that is. Okay, and so now also notice here that this roof needs to go all the way back to this one. So first I'm going to save my drawing. And then I'm going to click on this roof and say, join roof, okay? So I want to join this to this. Look what happens. See how that just real quickly extended that roof over there so that now it actually, the peak of this roof goes all the way across and hits that roof right there. And that's this little icon right here, that little house, join the roof. You click on the object that you want to extend, and then you click on the object that you want it to extend to. And I think I see the same issue right here. Let's see if we can make that work. Click on that, click on this edge. Whoops, I think I just picked the wrong edge first. So I'm gonna click that, and I want to click that. See how that made those two meet up like that? Really nice. So I think I saw that. All right. So everything looks pretty good to me as far as the roof goes. This is a gable end. So I really want this wall to extend up to this gable, okay? So there's a little issue here that I will probably not, I'm not gonna work on that anymore. But this guy right here, look at that. I think I wanna bring him over because I want this to extend a little bit farther. Let's see how I can do that. I got something going on here. It's not letting me select that right now. And I'm looking for, maybe there's an error message. It's not letting me select anything right now. So I've got something preventing me from continuing. And there we go. I had some command going on, so I just clicked to modify, which cleared out the command prompt. I'm going to click on this roof, edit the footprint. So now I'm going to go back to the, well, I'll go to the roof now. And what I was saying was I really want this guy to come down a little bit more. I'm going to draw a line from, where's the wall? Where's the, I think this is the face of the wall. So I'm going to draw a line without an overhang and just come down from here to here and then over to here. All right. So now let's clean that up and you'll see what it does in just a second. Or anyway, what I hope it does. I don't want this to have a slope. And I don't want this to have a slope either. So let's click on that and see what happens. Yeah. See, this is nice because it allows the water to come down and it's a better connection than having this just be straight down like that. So that looks good to me too. I mean, let's see if you can see it. Now, maybe I didn't pick the right edge of the wall. Where is that? That is the edge of the wall, and that is the, yep, I did. So it's just an optical illusion that this is not touching that wall. Because I guess it is, but if it was, then why would I see the edge here? All right, so I'm going to take a look at this in realistic and see what it shows me. All right, so the reason I'm seeing this edge here is because this wall right here doesn't go down far enough. Okay, so if I click on this and base constraint is the second floor, what if I dropped it down -6 inches? Let's just see what happens. Look at that. Now I'm good. See, now that wall comes down all the way. So what was happening is the bottom of this wall right here in this bathroom wasn't low enough in order to hit the, actually I shouldn't do it that way. So let's take a look at this, go to view and fine resolution. And I'm going to change that back. See, I dropped it down below. I'm going to change it back and just drag it back up to there so that this should be 0. Yep. Okay. And what I want to put in there is my bond, my first floor bond. This is just a regular wall. Oh, it is a stacked wall. Let's see, what does that look like? Okay, it's got that and that. So I'm going to add another one. I'm going to insert another row. I want it down at the bottom, so I'm going to drop it down. And I'm going to change that to second floor bond. Let's see what happens if I notice that I can find it because I labeled it what I wanted it to be. I gave it a name that I can recognize when I look here, hopefully, second floor bond. And there it is. That's what I really want it to look like. So I'm going to have to move it so that it lines up. It looks like if I move it an inch, all my materials line up now. My constraints of my stacked wall really should now be -6 inches. -6 inches because I want it to go down. Yep, there's the bottom of my stacked wall. And there's the top of my stacked wall where it's supposed to be, the top of the first floor wall. And I can see that my floor at this point doesn't touch the inside face of my plywood. So I will edit the boundary. It's going to tell me you have to go to a floor plan in order to edit the boundary. And I'm going to look right over here and find that, yep, sure enough, this should be stopping right there. So I'll use the align tool, tab, until I get the line that I want it to align to. There we go. Okay. Say okay. Let's go back to that section. And now you can see that my plywood goes exactly to there, but this wall is not. This wall is going below the plywood, so I've made a mistake here. Let's see how much it is going below the plywood. Only 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to change this to, instead of -6, I'm going to change it to -5 7/8 of an inch. And that should line. Yep. Now the bottom of this wall lines up with the plywood, and my wall here is this little bond here is probably fine. I don't know. Let's take a look all the way around the house. So my question is, why am I seeing the edge of that again? It doesn't look like the roof goes to this wall. See that? That roof is not going all the way over to that wall. So I'll click on the roof, edit the footprint. I'll go back to the second floor. And I can see that there's my roof. It's supposed to go to there. So I'll align it to this line and say, okay. Now that looks perfect. Look at that. I spin that guy around. There it is. And this is just a nice detail. See how instead of extending that roof straight down, This is a better detail. We'll put some flashing here, and it'll protect the house better from moisture. So that's better. I have some fascia boards to put in, but I don't have to worry about that right now. Okay, I'm going to save it. I'm in a good spot here to help somebody out right now if anybody needs any help. I'm ready to help you out because I finished one portion of what I wanted to do here.
Yeah, I could share my screen right now.
Okie doke. Let me stop sharing mine.
Okay. I've been having a problem with my basement floor plan. I'm not sure if I have one or if I just misplaced it.
Okay. Well, let's go to an elevation or a section. Doesn't matter. We just want to look at the level and see what you called it. So you have a bottom of the basement wall. Okay. So do we have that? Let's go in your browser and see if you have a bottom of the basement wall. You
I
don't. So we'll go to the View tab and go to the Plan Views and go to Floor Plan and say bottom of basement wall. There you go. Now you have a basement plan. Now
Okay.
it's called bottom of basement wall. Let's go rename it. And we're going to just call it basement plan. Now say, okay, it's going to ask you, do you want to change the name of the level? And you don't. So we'll say no to that. The level will still be called bottom of basement wall.
Oh, okay.
But the plan view is going to be called basement plan.
Okay.
So now you have a basement plan.
Okay. I also have this roof plan, which is this what, well, see, it looks different. When it's under here, it looks like this,
Yeah.
which is that's the one I put on the sheet.
Okay.
Okay.
But let's change your roof plan. Let's change the other roof plan too. Click on that other one. See how it's clipped right now?
Yeah.
So type VR for view range.
Something.
VR. Now, the top of our view is 7'6" above the roof level, but your roof goes much higher than that. So let's change that to 200 feet. So now we're going to be able to see the top of the roof, but your cut plane is 4 feet above the roof level. Let's change that to 100 feet. So we're going to cut 100 feet above, and now we'll say okay to that, and look what happens to your roof plan. Now we can see the whole thing.
Okay.
Because we're cutting way above it, way, way, way above it.
Which line should I have? Would it be wireframe or hidden lines to plot it out?
Well, I wouldn't want to see your second floor. So is that an underlay?
Yeah, it should be.
We'll just change. We'll get rid of that and we'll say no underlay. Wait, no, not that one. I don't think anyway, but zoom up just a little bit. You're telling it to show the grade. So let's say none.
Okay.
So we have no underlays because that's really, we just want to see the roof. Some
Yeah.
people would argue that you should be able to show the second floor, and I can't dispute that, but I just want to see the roof plan.
Okay. I think I have everything else for the sheets at least understood.
All right, how's everybody else doing? Anybody else having a problem with getting their sheets laid out? Because I really need to see that today. If you're having trouble, let me help you with it. All right, I can see I need one more roof right here. And this is my front porch. This is actually my front porch, and I would like the front porch to be covered. Look what I did. I moved something, so let's undo that. There we go. There we go. Something went wrong there. So if this were your house and your guests were coming over and it was raining and they're standing at the front porch waiting for you to open the door, you would want them to be covered. So I'm going to put a roof over top of my porch. So I'm going to say architecture, roof. Let's see, what's my issue here? I'm going to move the roof to the, what did we say? Top of first floor fascia? No. What did we call that? I don't remember. So I don't know. So I'm going to cancel out of that and just see what level this roof is on. I'm going to X out of that. I forgot, what level did I put this guy at? It's top of first floor fascia. That's the first floor roof. But this is the second. That's what I want, is the first floor roof here. Okay. So I want it to be top of first floor fascia. All right. Back to this drawing. This is my active drawing. I'm going to say roof. Top of first floor fascia will be my level. And I'm going to draw a line with a 1 foot offset or overhang. I'm going to come from here to here, all the way across to this wall. And then I don't want an offset any longer, so I'm going to say 0. And I'm going to go straight back to this wall when I don't want an offset there. And let's come all the way over to there. I think it didn't close someplace here. No, I guess it's okay. Now, which roof components do I want to slope? I don't want this guy to, so I'll say no slope. And I don't want this guy to, so I'll say no slope. But I want this guy to slope and I want this guy to slope. So let's say what happens when I do that. Look at that. There's my roof. So now I have a roof over the front porch, but it looks like I might have an issue with it right here. So that's where I'll go to this section and see what's going on with that roof. And yep, look at that. This roof is higher than this roof. So I'm going to change the pitch of that roof, which is, first floor is fine. Like I did before, I'm going to change the pitch of this from a 912. I'll change it down to, well, let's change it to a 412 just to see what happens. It's so easy to fix it. And I like that. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because now I can put some windows in this wall. So the pitch of this roof is lower. And I have a wall here, which will allow me to put some windows in there. So now I can put some windows in here into my foyer. And I could put some side lights on the door across here. But now I have a place where I can put some windows in this wall. It'll bring light into the foyer area. So I like that. I'm going to save that. Okay, now you can see right here, I still have a void space. So what do I want to do? I want to put a wall across there. And I said it was going to be a wall that has siding in it. First of all, let's close all my tabs so that I just have I don't even need that section. So let's make a second floor plan. And now I can close that section for now. And I want to put a wall across here. There's no bond because there's no, oh wait, there is a floor there, isn't there? Wait, no, this is open. This is open to below, so there's no floor here. So there won't be a bond. I'm just gonna put a wall across there. Which wall is it gonna be? Well, because I labeled my walls, I hope correctly. It's an exterior. No, maybe it's 7. All right, let's see if it is. Now just bring it across here. It's backwards, so I hit the space bar. I want the gypsum board on the inside to line up with the gypsum board on the inside, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to extend this wall from here to here. I want to extend it all the way to there. Now they're telling me that the walls overlap. So I'll take this wall and pull it back. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's not good. I'll just undo. And let's see. Now they don't quite touch. I'll use the align tool. See if that'll help me out. Now it's extending it beyond for some reason, and I don't want that. So I will undo again. I'm going to select that wall, and I'm going to highlight this little dot, and I'm going to say disallow join. So now it's not going to join that other wall. Let's see if that'll solve the problem. And yes, it did. Now I got that wall that comes right there, which is what I want it to do. And I want it to do the same thing on that side. So I guess I will highlight that wall, right click, disallow join, and then tell it to align exactly to the edge of this wall. And now I have that in there, okay? So my roof needs to be modified a little bit. That's easy enough to do. The reason, maybe if I show it in realistic, it'll make sense. See, this brick wall is out here, but this wall is back there. So I just need to click on the roof, edit the footprint, and I'm going to extend that roof back. No overhang. I'm going to go back from here to the face of that, which is the siding, and then come across to the face of that brick right there and right there. And then I will cut this one and trim extend this guy to this guy and do the same thing over here. I'm going to trim extend this guy to this guy. I don't want that to slope, so I'm going to say no. This does not have a slope. This guy doesn't have a slope, and this guy doesn't have a slope. And I'll say okay. And essentially what happened was that roof just keeps extending up a little bit farther right there and across, and then it extends on this side. Oh, let's see. Yeah, way down here it extends back to that wall. So we got a little issue here, again, with water coming in. And again, that wall doesn't go down low enough. So let's take a look at that wall. We're going to look at the section through this part of it. Go to the second floor. I want to see a section right through there, but I don't have one because I brought it over here. So I'll make a temporary section, cutting it through there. So I want to see how that wall actually works. Fine resolution. And you can see that this wall and this wall don't meet each other. So I'm just going to drag this wall down. And now they do. My gypsum boards line up. And it's this. Now I don't have any little gap right there. That looks good. I don't want section 17 because that was just temporary. So I'm going to delete that so I don't get confused with my sections. All right, I'm going to just do a little housekeeping while I'm waiting for someone to ask for some help. I just want to line up my,
I have a question.
okay, I'm
And
going,
I do some changes in one sheet, and then when I go to the other sheet, everything is messed up. I don't know what.
all right, I'll stop sharing, let you share your screen, and we'll see what you're talking about.
So for example, when I adjust first floor, everything to be lined up. When I go to the basement floor, all of these are, all the sections, for example, they go up, down. Look,
Yeah, you have to modify those sections in each view. So you'll have to clean it up in this view. So let's go back to the first floor, first of all. All right, your sections are, looks like that one on the left, that vertical one on the left might be a little bit low at the top. So no, go to the vertical. Those are the horizontals.
yeah, horizontal on the left, this one, yeah.
That one
Oh,
needs,
oh yeah. Right.
both the top and the bottom need to be adjusted.
Yeah, but and does it have to be on top of the dimensions?
I would say for now you can leave it there. We'll clean that up
Yeah,
later.
because when I go in the, for example, to see the first floor plan, see they're kind of, they're not fitting exactly right here.
All right, so deactivate the view. Click on the floor plan. And then use your arrow key just to nudge it up a bit.
Yeah, that's right on the edge. Yeah.
Well, we can move those
I was
buttons
trying
up.
to get a different, like section or like a dimension, but I think that this is like the best one. We might get a, like if I activate view and I try to get a different scale, it's not gonna fit. I don't know.
Right now you've picked 3/32. So
Yeah,
you want to try a different scale. Pick a
yeah, a
different,
little bit smaller, but
so 1/16 would be the next size small.
but it's, I think that's too small.
I agree, it's way too small.
Yeah,
It's not too small for my house because my house is so big.
Yeah.
I'm using that scale, but most other houses, hopefully, in the class are not that
I
big.
make it big. Yeah. And then when I go to, like, this is if I'm done here, I like it, let's say I like it. If I go on the basement floor, all the dimensions they went, you see they're not aligned anymore. I align them here. When I go in first floor, they're messed up here.
All right, well, let's go do one on the basement. Align one of them on the basement. It should not change the first floor.
Yes, for example. Maybe there is a setting to lock the.
Now let's go to the first floor.
Yeah, they
I don't
didn't change. Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna, those are gonna change per view. So if you change it on this view, it shouldn't change it on the other view.
I'm playing with these two for 30 minutes and let's see, basement plan. Yeah, now they're looking good. Yeah. Even though they're a little bit right here on the bottom, if you see.
Yeah, that would not be acceptable. I would nudge that up a bit.
Yeah.
And so just click on the floor plan and nudge it up with your arrow keys. No, not here, not here. Everything's fine there. Go back to that sheet view. Go to the sheet view that you were just at, A101.
A1, second floor,
I think it's
basement there. Yeah.
that you can click on the floor plan and nudge it up with the arrow keys. And get your bubbles at the top as high as you can. Yeah, that'd be all right. No, that's too much. Go back down one. That'll probably be all right.
Yeah. Maybe I can go with this too.
For now, I would leave it like it is, but eventually we might modify it a little bit more. But for purposes right now, we're just trying to demonstrate to me what you have done so I can help you out. It's also not in fine resolution, so why don't you activate the view and make it fine resolution? Okay.
All right. Okay.
Looking good.
All right. Thank you.
All right, so now I have this wall. This is something I haven't demonstrated yet, but I have this gable and I have this wall and I want this wall to go up to the gable. So if I click on the wall and I say attach top base and I click on the roof, watch what happens. It extends that wall all the way up to there, which is what I want. And let's see if I can do the same thing here. Attach top base to that roof. Look at that. See how nice that is now? Let me take a look at that. My walls go up to the roof. And I want to do that here also, but I have a different kind of a wall there. This wall has three parts to it. So if I say extend attach top base, it's going to be a problem. It's a solvable problem, but see, I have, oh no, I guess it was one type. Okay, so that's good. I don't want an overhang. I don't want a soffit here, so I need to edit that boundary. And here I don't want a soffit. So for now, I'm going to just do this and this. And let's see what happens now. Okay. Can I take this guy out? I'm going to continue. It's telling me I still have that other line here. I got to get rid of that line. That line's got to go too. Okay, now it should be okay. And it is. So I didn't need, I have my overhang on this part of the roof, and I have my overhang on this part of the roof. So let's change that back to hidden line. So you can see that I had an overhang coming across here too, which I didn't want, so I just deleted it. But I still needed to have a closed entity for my overhang, so I had to clean that up a little bit. So this needs some work. That's a detail that it's not that easy to do. I'm not saying you don't want to do it, but it's a detail you probably would want to stay away from for now. All right, I like what I have so far. I'm gonna save it, and I got to put a fascia in here. So architecture, roof, fascia. We said we were going to make it minus 1.5 inches, and we used the 1x8. That's what that is. So now I'm going to pick the bottom and the bottom. And there's, I didn't pick the bottom. There's my fascia. So I made a mistake here, and I put it in, I picked the wrong one. So I'm going to just delete everything and start again. Architecture, roof, fascia, minus 1.5 inches. And I want to make sure to pick the bottom line. That's good. And then I come over here, I want to make sure to pick the bottom line. There we go. It's messed up here. So to extend that, I can grab this line and drag it back. And then I can extend this line and drag it back. I got those little dots. So that looks a little bit better. Maybe I went too much on this one. Yeah, so let's drag it forward just a little bit. Right there. And this guy, I should probably fix this guy too a little bit. Look at this line to drag it back. How's that look? That doesn't look good. I want to drag it forward a little bit. I'll use this line to drag it forward. Looks better, but this guy has to come up over a little bit more too. So I'll use this line to drag him forward a little bit. That's pretty good. It's not perfect. But I'm going to say that's close enough for now. Okay, so there's my house. It's not the most beautiful house in the world, but you can see I have my porch covered now. So when guests come over, they won't have to stand in the rain at the front door. And I need to put some saddles in here. What else do I need? The roof. I just need to put the fascia boards on. I think the roof's pretty good right now. All right. Architecture, roof, fascia, minus 1.5 inches. Make sure I pick the bottom line. Ooh, look what I did. I did 1.5 feet. So I'm going to delete that guy because I put the offset too much. Fascia, offset, 1.5 inches. And that should be good now. And it isn't. What did I do wrong? I said positive 1.5, not negative 1.5. So back again. Fascia minus 1.5 inches. Now I think we should be good. Let's see what happens. That looks good. That looks good. Now this cleaned up because the roof pitches are the same. The roof in the front porch there, remember I reduced the size of that. So that cleaned up really nicely. I reduced the slope of that roof. So now Revit's confused because there's two roofs with two different slopes and it didn't clean it up. Now I'm talking about this corner right here. The pitch of this roof is much different than the pitch of that roof. All right. And I need to put a fascia board over here. But remember, this is flush now. I want to change that. I want it to come over a bit. So I'll edit the footprint and let's do, I guess we can do it right here. I just want this guy to come over, maybe another foot. So I'll just copy it. Down a foot. I'm going to clean up this edge and this edge. And I'm going to put another line in with no overhang from the brick to there. And then I'll clean up this edge and this edge and this edge and this edge. I don't want this guy to have a slope. Let's see if he does. Nope. All right. And I don't want this guy to have a slope. Okay. Well, that looks good. All right. Let's say okay to that and see what Revit thinks about it. So that's what I did was I just extended that roof over there. It's a good detail here to just keep the water out of the house. All right, I think I'm ready to put the fascia in. Let's be more intelligent here. And remember, minus 1.5 inches. Okay, I can put I accidentally grabbed that wrong one. So I'll delete it. Still having trouble. Roof, fascia, minus 1.5 inches. I want to hit this guy. I want to hit this guy. And this guy. Putting my fascia in. Or Revit's putting it in. I'm just telling Revit where to put it.
Professor, I have a question. This one.
Okay, I'm good with this part. Let me save this and I'll stop sharing and we'll take a look at your screen.
I I lost the way that you set up the views uh, for the front view, rear view, and then the right and left view.
All right, well, your cameras look like they're located okay. You can see the cameras, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at your, you have, wait a minute, I'm a little confused here. You got building elevations and then wall type 5 elevation. Huh. Okay. All right, let's go take a look at your elevations and see what's going on. Okay, north side looks all right for now. South side looks okay for now. That looks good. All right, so what are you thinking is a problem?
The front view. Should I put the north for the front and the rear for the south?
No, south view is, well, yeah, the south view is your front elevation. So you can rename that. So the north view is your rear elevation. Yep.
So that's gonna be my left elevation, right?
Your west elevation is the left, right? Correct. Hello.
Okay, so on the basement, I think I don't have the floor, basement element floor plan. So if I want that, I have to click.
So let's go to your view tab. And then go to plan views. Floor plan. Bottom of basement wall. And it should go to your basement plan. There it is.
Okay, Professor. Thank you so much.
You got to change the resolution though to fine. Remember that.
Yes. Professor, would you walk me through the sheet list? I forgot the first steps. You are on mute. Professor, you are on mute if you are talking.
I was on mute. Sorry about that, Alpha.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me. Okay, let's try to share your screen again.
Okay. This is the sheet list that I made. And
So not, let's go to schedule. See where it says schedules quantity? Right above where your mouse is, schedules quantity.
oh yes,
Right click, sheet list, new sheet list. On the left-hand side are all of the possible fields that you could put into the schedule. On the right-hand side are all of the fields that you have in the schedule. And right now you don't have any fields. So let's scroll down to the bottom. We want sheet name, so click on that and hit the little green arrow in the middle. Now in your schedule, you do have a sheet name, and we want sheet number, so hit that again. It's highlighted, so you can just hit that green arrow again. Now you have the sheet name and the sheet number. The sheet number is highlighted, and I think that should be first. So over to the right, there's a little up arrow. Click that. That puts your sheet number, and we'll say okay.
okay.
Now we want to go to the properties button, and we want to go to sorting and grouping. And we want to sort, that first one's going to be sheet number. Yeah, exactly.
Same thing, and then click OK.
Say okay. So we got sheet list, basement first, second. Where's the roof?
Oh wow.
That's all right. We can do that later. All right. So let's go back to that your sheet list sheet, the first sheet that you have, A100. Now I think you want to go to the sheet A100. So that's in the project browser.
I can go from this one, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can do it from there. Now go over to the schedules, and you have to hit the little plus sign on the left-hand side there of the schedules quantity. I don't see any schedules. So do you see where it says schedules quantity? Yeah, you see the plus sign? Yep. And just drag that and put it on the sheet. There you go. Nice.
Okay.
So we don't have a roof plan. So let's go to the view tab and we'll make one.
Plan view.
Yep.
Is it?
It's in the floor plan. So click on floor plan. And let's see what we have available there. All right.
Top of the second floor face, yeah, is now.
Oh, you already have it. Okay. So cancel out of that. And let's open up the top of second floor fascia. So let's open up that sheet. There it is. So we can rename it. We'll just call it roof. And now we're cutting through the roof, so we want to change the view range. So type VR. And we're going to change that one from 7'6" to 200 feet. So we're going to be able to see all the way up to 200 feet above the roof. And the cut plane, we're going to change that. I would make that the first one I'd make 200 feet.
The first one is 200.
Yeah, and the second one I would make it 100.
And then okay.
Yep, let's see what happens. Yeah, now we're not cutting through the roof anymore. We can see the whole roof from above, like we're flying over in a drone.
Okay, so now I'm gonna make a sheet before after the second floor plan, right?
So, sorry to interrupt. So what he did, VR, and what he selected?
When you type VR, it's gonna show this table.
Yeah, we just changed it. So we're seeing the top, the first row there is we're seeing all the way up to 200 feet above the whatever that level was. I think, and then this cut plane is where we actually cut through the roof. We're cutting through 100 feet above. So that gives us the ability to see everything.
So, Professor, let's say when I try to insert how I'm gonna insert one sheet after second floor and before front view.
It's going to make it numerical. So you can just say new sheet, right click on top of sheets and say new.
And then it's gonna.
All right, now let's change the name of it to roof. And then we want it to be a higher number than A102. So if you made it A102.1, it would put it after the second floor.
Okay.
Now you can drag the roof
So I'm gonna stop sharing now.
Okay.
Thank you, Professor.
You're doing great work.
Professor, I have one question.
Okay,
I think it's the thing you showed me before, but I forgot it. I can share my screen though.
all right. Let's see if I need to stop sharing first of all. No, I don't think so. So let's
Okay. Um, this top roof is cut off for my ninth section. I
okay.
don't remember how I fixed that.
Activate the view. And let's take a look at your crop region and see if you're actually cropping that view or not. Nope, you're not. So let's turn off the crop region. What you're seeing there, let's go to the roof plan. That's section 9. So we're going to look at, just hover over section 9 on the view there, on the view. Just move your mouse. No, go over to the drawing there of your roof plan and just let's look at section number 9. So hover over the section, it'll tell us what number it is. That's 4, 3, 9. Okay. So you see how the section is cutting through the roof?
Okay.
You're not able to see the entirety of the height of the roof because you're cutting through at that point.
Okay.
So actually your section is correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Brandon, I'm looking at your submission and there's something wrong with your elevations. Let's try to figure it out if you have a minute.
Professor?
Yes.
Um, yeah, could you show me how to do the site location or slash sheet list? Because I was busy doing the other things.
Yep.
Also, it looks like I heard you say Brandon, but it looks like he left already.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe he got disconnected. I don't know. But he's not. He's currently not here.
Okay.
So this is the sheet that's going to be for the site location slash sheet list.
Okay. So
Uh,
you can make a sheet list, which I see you haven't done yet. So right click on top of schedules, a couple above there, right click there and say new sheet list. Now on the left column are all the things that you can put in your sheet list. The only things we want are down at the bottom. So scroll all the way to the bottom. We want the sheet name and the sheet number. Okay. There it is.
And would I drag this to somewhere else, to the
Not-
A100?
Not yet. We're looking
Not
for
yet.
your properties box. I don't see it.
Uh,
Your browser, but I don't see the property.
okay, here it is.
Now go to sorting and grouping.
Sorting and grouping, yeah.
I didn't see anything pop up. We have another screen. Oh, there we go. So you want to sort by, it says none right now, but you want to sort by the sheet number. Sort by the sheet number. So it says sort by, and then it says none. And say, okay,
Okay, and I don't have to put a header or footer?
no, you don't need, not for a sheet list.
Okay, so, okay,
Now you can drag that onto that sheet. So go to the sheet you want to put it on, and then drag it
Okay.
over.
did it show up? Let me see. No, I thought I dragged it. Sheet list.
You got to go back to the sheet first. Now you're back on the sheet list. Yeah, click anywhere. And what you have are two little blue triangles at the top. You can drag, you can drag the width of this. See that little blue triangle at the top? Not that one, do the other one.
The other one, okay.
One to the right. Yeah, drag that all the way to the right. Keep going. You want to keep going. We only want one line per row. That's good. That's fine.
Okay,
There you go. Now you can move it around. There you go.
okay, let's save this. And so the issue that I also had, or that I have, move the properties away. So this is the first section that I have.
Okay.
And the elevation, I think that's going to take me the longest to sort out because there's a lot of back and forth that I have to do with it.
Well, it looks more like an elevation than a section. So let's go to the floor plan and see where your section 1 is.
Okay, first floor plan. And,
It's section 1.
yeah, this is
Outside
from
of the house, so that's why it looks like it does.
like I said, and I don't need this
Nope.
here. I'll delete and now I'm gonna have to rename all these sections. I'll leave it like this. That way I remember to rename them.
Okay.
So then did it delete? Okay, so this sheet is empty. Okay. So this is what I have for the first section.
Okay.
And I believe you said you wanted it in fine.
Always in fine resolution.
Fine resolution and just visual style hidden lines, or do you want realistic or
Hidden lines.
hidden lines? Okay.
And while you have it active, go down and turn off the crop region. That's one more.
That's turned it off. Yeah. Okay. Deactivate view. And so, this is how you typically want the sections to look, correct?
Everything looks good so far, except for your levels need to be cleaned up on the.
Yeah. I could show you what happened. So for the front elevation, it's still a mess. but I think I was able to, yeah, it's all over the place. I don't know if it's because I have too many elevations.
No, you can never have too many. But let's activate the view.
Activate view.
And on the left-hand side, click on one of the levels. Any one, it doesn't matter. And hit that, see that empty checkbox there? It's a square with nothing in it, check there. Now, on the right-hand side, uncheck that one. So you can put some of your levels on the left-hand side if you want to. You have plenty of room to move that house to the right, and then you'll have plenty of room for levels on both sides.
Okay.
So for example, you might want to put the basement floor, the first floor, and the second floor on the left-hand side. And that would clean up some of that on the right-hand side.
Okay. All right, so that's what I'm gonna be playing around with
Okay.
for the remainder of the class. And I mean, it's still jumbled up over here, so I should probably do the same.
Yeah.
Activate view. Grade. Yeah, I think this was the issue that I was having because it's the same thing on the left and right side elevation. Like, see, this was the issue I was saying. If I move this marker, if I move this circle, it changes this end line.
It shouldn't.
Let me show you what I mean. So see, everything's within here, but let's say activate view, and let's just say I don't want to change the, because it dragged it. So I dragged it there, and then now this is out here when it wasn't before.
Yeah,
So
you're absolutely right about that.
so that's the issue I've been having. So if I fix something on like the front elevation, it sometimes messes with the back elevation or the rear elevation, and the same thing for the left and the right side. So that's the issue I've been having for the longest.
All right, so let's deactivate this view if it isn't already.
Okay,
And
that's
now
the.
No,
I'll make sure all of them.
one.
Okay.
And let's just click on the house and use the arrow keys to nudge it over to the right. You want to put a little bit of space on both sides so we can put some of your levels on one side and some on the other. That looks all right. Now let's
Okay.
click on one of the levels and
Activate view.
we're going to drag it to the right. There's a little bubble. See, you're moving it. You want to drag it. So zoom in on it. See that little bubble there? Drag that, drag that over to the right. And it should move all of your bubbles at the same time. If you're having trouble, zoom in even closer.
Okay.
Yep. Now drag it to the right.
But it's not letting me drag it.
Okay, unlock it then. See the little lock sign? Now drag it to the right.
Even more.
It's locked again.
Not letting me. Let me try the one under. Okay, so then I'll just work from here on out, Professor, to just try to get everything in the middle and then switch to left and right side.
I got disconnected there for a second. So,
Oh, so I was able to drag it. I'm gonna probably drag it some more. And then so if I'm understanding what you want me to do is clean this up a little bit, but then switch between left and right for some of the elevations, correct?
yeah, so what you want to make sure is not to move the levels, but to actually drag them. Because when you're moving the level, I guess that's going to move the end of it as well. But if you drag it over, it's not going to move the end of it. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Oh, okay. So the way I've been moving them was moving the actual, it kept the same distance, but it was moving the level instead of extending the line.
You want to drag it all the way, not move it.
Okay. So if I wanted to move this, I want to drag it and not move it, correct?
Right.
And then, so if I do this here, this one was, so that shouldn't affect anything over here, right? Okay, because it's still here. This is the same line, I believe.
Well, let's see what that level was. So click on that other, which one did you just move? Hover over the top, it'll tell you the name of it. What's it called?
Top of second floor, fascia. And so let me see, let me just drag it a little bit to see if it changes anything.
Yeah, but you want to be looking on, this is the left side view. The other one is the right side view. So we want to look at the right side view and see if it changed that.
Right. Actually, there's a way that I know. What was it way that you said to show both?
Well, it's going to show everything you have open right now if you type WT.
WT, right? Okay. Too quick. WT. Okay. Right side. This is the bottom of the second floor. And so let me just see if it moves it or not. Now that's moving. Okay. There we go. And it still moves it on the other side, on the left side. So that's why I wanted to see what would happen.
And that's very strange.
Yeah, so if I move it on the right side, even though this is the end of that line, it's on the left side, that's the beginning of the elevation. And so if I make any change there, so I mean, you've given me a solution to this issue, and I just have to maybe lower the size for the sheets, and then have the house in the middle, and then that way I just have it on the left and the right side, and hopefully that would clean
Don't
it up.
want to make the house too small.
Okay.
But I was not aware of what you just pointed out to me. In all these years, I never noticed that. That's definitely an issue. I guess let me do some research on it, and I'll try to send you an email sometime.
Okay. Other than that, I think
Something like this was happening to me, and I think it was happening in the beginning when I start drawing, and I think I messed up something, and since I still have issues, I think this spring break I have to start all over again from the beginning.
From the very, very beginning?
Yeah, which is it's not a bad thing, because you're gonna learn better.
Professor, I just sent you my file. I'm just wondering if you can open it, because on my end is not opening.
All right, I'll take a look at it right now.
All right, thank you.
I don't see it. You put it in the file exchange?
Yes.
No, it's not there. Let's see.
It says right here, group success is like group file added.
Right, well, I guess you didn't put it in file exchange because I don't see it there. Let me see where else it might be. You put it in the discussion board? No. You're in groups and you put it in the mandatory 3/26/2021 PDF submission mandatory. Is that where you put it?
No, I think he put it for the attendance because he didn't log in for the PDF submission group.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah, it's probably in the attendance file or the attendance group.
Yeah, so go to groups and put it in the other one. Tell me when it's there. I see it now. Okay. Well, I see that you logged in there now. Okay. But it's still not uploaded. There we go. Okay. Now I can look at it. Yeah, I'm on the roof plan. So far, it looks good. The elevations are too small. You got to make them bigger. The sections look like they might be able to be made a little bit bigger too. Maybe not, but try the next size up and see if it'll fit. Because the objective here is to show your work in the largest scale possible. And I think you can make your alpha. I think you can make your submission looks fine, but the changes that I would say is make the sections and the elevations a larger scale. Does that make sense?
Yes, sorry, I was on mute. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna do that.
Great.
I'm gonna do that right now.
And that's the end of class. So I will stop sharing. And
So what's
yeah.
the time limit for the submission for me to fix that?
No, you already did it. You're fine. If you want to,
Okay.
if you want to make those changes, go ahead. But you've done fine for your submission as far as it's required.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor. See you next week.
Well, let's try to do. Remember, we want to finish up that stacked wall. So let's try to do that.
Okay.
If we have time, sometime between now and the next class. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be free between them.
All right. Sounds great.
Okay. I'm gonna email you, Professor.